Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya De Satarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpataru Vesha Kripa Sindhuve Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. Some devotees are missing today and some devotees have not switched on their videos. So all devotees, please switch on their videos. And where are other devotees? I think because we missed a lot of classes, devotees have also, I think 2 weeks we didn't have class. Yes, almost last 2-3 weeks we didn't have class. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we were discussing about Chitraketu Maharaj, how Chitraketu Maharaj was completely lamenting, and Angira and Narad Muni, they actually finally reached as a mendicant, and Chitraketu, after hearing the advice of Angira Rishi and Narad Muni, Chitraketu and his wife was quite pacified. So we had halted there. Now you see, Narad Muni is not a conventional preacher. You know what is meaning of conventional? Conventional means like, normal course of action. Generally, conventionally, we see preachers, they will give some class, or they'll make some presentation, or they'll write some books, or tell you that you can read the books as an explanation for the scriptures. So that's type of something conventional type of preaching. But Narad Muni is completely unconventional. And Narad Muni could have spoken all the philosophy what is required for Chitraketu Maharaj to hear it, understand it. Narad Muni understood that if I speak, I don't think there will be an effect. So Narad Muni, by his mystic potencies, he actually brought back the small son, who is dead now, to life. The sun started like blinking the eyes and breathing again, and like shaking his hands and legs. Just imagine. And Narad Muni, as soon as the sun is alive by the mystic power of Narad Muni speaks to the sun that, my dear son, why did you leave such wonderful loving parents? They are loving you so much. They are caring for you so much. They are lamenting because of your absence so much. Don't you feel love for them? Why did you leave them? Please, again, do you know that you are actually, Narad Muni says, you are actually you are supposed to inherit such a big property. You are supposed to inherit a big throne. You are the emperor. You are going to be the emperor. So, why did you leave such a wonderful family? Please enter again. Enjoy the great opulence, wonderful servants, friends, relatives, wealth. Enjoy. Please enter again. Just imagine. Can any one of you do that? I cannot do that. Just imagine how much desire we should have. The first time when I read this, way back in my first year, His Grace Radhe Shyam Prabhu had taken a workshop on this Chitraketu's pastime in 2006. So first time when I had heard this, I developed such a deep desire to meet Narad Muni. Just imagine, this personality brought the small kid to life. Yes? How powerful is he? And what sort of personality is he? And after bringing back, he's asking all these questions to the child, just to make sure that the child gives a discourse. Now the child is going to give a discourse. Because all discourses starts with questions. Yes? So Narad Muni is asking question to the child, and the child is going to answer, and by that Narad Muni is going to preach or present the philosophy to Kritadviti and Chitraketu Maharaj. Such an unconventional way. Generally, when we go and start speaking something to someone, we start speaking something, we show some presentation, we show some videos, we show something. But nothing like this. And then with all these questions, set of questions of Narad Muni, ki why did you leave? Now again I am giving you an opportunity. You left untimely. Enjoy now. So Narad Muni questions is being answered. This is the first answer that this living entity is giving. This is 6th chapter. 6th canto, 16th chapter, 4th verse. So we will recite this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Some devotee can repeat. Jiva Uvacha.
Jiva Uvacha.
Kasmin Janmanyami Mahyam.
Kasmin janmane ame mayam
Pitaro mataro bhavan
pitaro mataro bhavan
Karmavir bhramyamanasya
karmabir brahmamanasya
Devatiryat nriyonishu.
devatirya niryoyishu.
So Jiva Vacha. Let's read the translation and purport. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Just 1 minute.
Padu Guru.
Okay, you can read.
By the mystic power of the Narad Muni, the living entity re-entered his dead body for a short time and spoke in reply to the Narad Muni's request. He said, according to the results of my fruitive activities, I, the living being, transmigrate from one body to another, sometimes going to the species of the demigods, sometimes to the species of lower animals, sometimes among the vegetables, and sometimes to the human species. Therefore, in which birth were these my mother and father? No one is actually my mother and father. How can I accept these two people as my parents?
Hare Krishna. So the living entity flatly denied that these are not my father and mother. Or if at all you are telling that these are my father and mother, you have to tell me which lifetime father and mother, because I have taken so many father and mothers, I really even don't know. Hare Krishna. Just imagine Kritadviti and Chitraketu hearing this. What emotion! Their own son, or they are thinking that he is our son, Harsasok. He is coming back and speaking that I don't remember which father and mother, and can you make me remember that? Purport. Here it is made clear that the living entity enters a material body that is like a machine created by the 5 gross elements of material nature and the 3 subtle elements. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, there are 2 separate identities called the inferior and the superior nature, which both belong to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The inferior nature is the material body, and the superior nature is the living entity. According to the results of a living entity's fruitive actions, he is forced to enter material elements in different types of bodies. This time, the living entity was supposed to have been the son of Maharaj Chitraketu and Queen Kritatyuti, because according to the laws of nature, he had entered a body made by the king and queen. Actually, however, he was not their son. The living entity is the son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because he wants to enjoy this material world, the Supreme Lord gives him a chance to enter various bodies. The living entity has no true relationship with the material body. He gets from his material father and mother. He is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but he is allowed to go through different bodies. The body created by so-called father and mother actually has nothing to do with so-called creators. Therefore, the living entity flatly denied that Maharaj Chitraketu and his wife were his father and mother. Hare Krishna. So this is the reality. This is the basic philosophy, basic truth, basic reality of spiritual path. Until unless and so long we understand this fact, we will never become serious in spiritual path. Most of us or most of the people actually practice spirituality just for their material enhancement, so that somehow their material life gets enhanced. They chant mantras, they go to temples, they give some donations, they respect the sadhus. And the basic reason for whatever spiritual activities they are doing, many even don't do that much, but most of the people, the basic reason for all the practice of spirituality, whatever they are doing, is mainly because of enhancing the material life, having good health. If I do bhakti, then I'll have a good health, or getting rid of the sinful karmas, or getting some wealth. But that's not the philosophy. We actually do not have any relationship with anyone. All of you sitting here attending the class, please understand this fact that you are not Parul, you are not Sumit, you are not Udit, you are not Poonam, Ansuma, Niharika, Madhur and Arpan, Sabyasachi, Sweta. This is not your identity. Neither I am Sri Nitai Das. We do not have any relationship with this body. Whatever we see in the mirror, whatever others see and identify us, this is not we. This is not we. And so long we don't realize this fact, we will never become serious in spiritual life. We'll simply be, "Theek hai, Prabhuji is giving some class, let me attend, otherwise Prabhuji will become very upset. Oh, I have to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra very nicely, otherwise it's what Prabhuji sometimes asks, and I have to tell the truth. Oh, I have to go to yatra because Prabhuji is so much asking and pushing me to come to the yatra." So, we will never be able to take initiative, serious initiatives and serious commitments in spiritual life until and unless we understand this fact. All the material factors will become very prominent in our life. And we have a notion that when all these material factors became completely nice, then I will practice spiritual life seriously. Yesterday I was talking with one couple. They had come to Gosala, and I was telling you, I'm not telling you to become very, very serious devotee or something. I'm just telling that you chant Hare Krishna 10 minutes a day. That's it. And Hare Krishna, my volume is low. I don't think I have maximum. I have kept maximum volume in my microphone. I don't think more volume can be kept in the microphone. I think you have to increase the volume. So I was telling this person that you just chant for 10 minutes a day. And this person says, after 10 years, I will completely come to your path. I said, I am not telling that you completely come to my path after 10 years. I am just telling right now, 10 minutes you chant Hare Krishna. And he's telling, I am like this. I said, you are not like this. You are simply misidentifying yourself as like this. You are not this body. But though the philosophy is so simple, right? Srila Prabhupada in all his lectures will speak only one thing. You are not this body, you are spirit soul. And everyone complains, I don't know why Srila Prabhupada is not speaking anything else. He is not speaking about Radha Krishna Leela. He is not speaking about the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He is just speaking on Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter. Srila Prabhupada never went ahead the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And one disciple asked Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, why do you speak only on body and soul? Prabhupada said, none of them understand that they are soul. They are fully convinced that there is a body. When they go above this platform, then only I can speak now the 3rd chapter and the 4th chapter and then the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and then Srimad Bhagavatam. So, until unless we understand we are spirit, soul, and we do not have any connection with this world, we do not have any connection with this family, this father and mother which I am thinking is not my father and mother. Radha Krishna is my father and mother. This husband which I am thinking is not my husband, Hare Krishna, is not my wife. Hare Krishna, sorry to tell you the reality in the morning time, but whatever it is, I have to tell. And with these illusory relationships, sometimes we commit such horrible sinful activities, being sentimental to these relationships. We neglect our spiritual life. We commit sinful activities. Like for example, I was yesterday giving a Srimad Bhagavatam class in the temple. I was quoting this example because it was about attachment to how difficult it is to give up the attachment to bodily relationships, and the gopis gave up these attachments. That was the topic. So I was remembering and recollecting one of my batchmate in 2005. I was very slow in picking up Krishna consciousness, very slow, and I was very skeptical about ISKCON, and I was very slow. But whatever I was doing steadily. I used to not require any follow-up of anyone, chant Hare Krishna. I used to do myself very nicely. And there was this person, I'll not tell his name. He was very fast in picking up the bhakti, very, very fast, and he started chanting 16 rounds very fast and everything. And then it came to a moment that we had to go to Mayapur. Generally, these yatras are very, very nourishing for our spiritual life, because these yatras, you understand, we are going to Dham, and they help us remember our eternal identity. Just like how these going to yatras, they work. A simple example, like sometimes when a person has a disease called amnesia means he forgets everything. So when he forgets everything, the doctor says that make him go to that place where he used to stay previously, so that he will remember. You have seen this in Bollywood movies? And make him remember, make him eat whatever he used to like to eat previously, make him associate with those people whom he used to feel that they are my friends, and definitely he is slowly going to remember. So these yatras are like that. Coming together in association of devotees, going to places where Lord has resided. This is actually our eternal home. It has very, very powerful effect to nourish our eternal identity. So it came to a point that this boy, my batchmate, has to register for Utkarsh Yatra or going to Sri Mayapur Dham. And we said that if you ask your parents, the parents are going to flatly deny because they don't understand the importance of spiritual life. You tell that we are going to Calcutta, we'll do some project, and Calcutta and Mayapur are twin cities and all those things, whatever it is. But he said, no, my parents are actually my well-wishers. They have always taken care of me very nicely. They will definitely understand this. This is so important. I said, they will not understand because they have not heard the philosophy. He said, no, they will understand. They are my well-wishers. Why you are telling me to go against my parents? We said, we are not telling you to go against your parents. We are just telling that they are not at the level to understand what we are telling. He said, no, I will convince my parents. And he spoke to his parents that we are going to Mayapur with the devotees and all these things. We are going to chant, dance and all these things. And his parents said, no, you cannot go to Mayapur, just come back to home. And then this person said, my father is telling that I cannot go to Mayapur, I have to go back to home. We said that, okay, you go back to home, but chant Hare Krishna. He said, yes, I will chant Hare Krishna in home. My father will not do anything for that. And as soon as he reached home, the first thing his father did was throw away the mala. And then this person says, oh, my father is my well-wisher. And he is telling me not to chant Hare Krishna, so I will not chant Hare Krishna. And he stopped chanting Hare Krishna. He didn't come to any of our programs further. After 4 years of B.Tech, this boy, when he got a job, he conducted the biggest liquor party in the campus. Where did he get money for conducting the liquor party? He has not started earning. From his father. His father was so great that okay, theek hai. His father was not knowing we all, so that's why he might, because of that reason, he forbid him to go to Mayapur. That's okay. To some extent, that's okay. What mistake this Hare Krishna Mahamantra did? And what effect the boy had? The boy became so notorious and he conducted the biggest liquor party. What sort of father is this? And what sort of material relationships are this? So we are so obsessed about these material relationships, and through this material relationship we do hell amount of sinful activities, and we don't give any importance to spiritual life, simply giving excuses based on my father, my wife, my husband, my this and my that. Who is going to remain with you? No one. They are simply products of illusion, products of your karma. No one. The wife, the husband sitting beside you, the father and mother who are taking care of you, everyone is going to become a part of history, and you yourself is going to become also a part of history. For sure. Sri Nitai Das, who is speaking so much and you are hearing, he is also going to become a part of history after some years. This is the reality of this world. And it is utter foolishness to be obsessed. See, we can act in a material relationship, but we get obsessed. We get distracted because of the material relationship. And I have seen people neglecting their spiritual life just because of giving family reasons. My husband is not supporting. Okay, husband is not supporting, you chant Hare Krishna. My wife is not supporting, my father is... Why everyone has to support and for your spiritual life? If you want to go back to Godhead, the whole material energy is going to become a distraction, because whole material energy is a distraction. It is created to distract us from spiritual life. The very purpose of material relationships. Yeah. You will be amazed to hear in Srimad Bhagavatam when the creation was happening. So when the creation was happening, So Brahma says that Sukadeva Goswami says that the human species, out of all the 84 lakh species, it is said that the human species is especially created for self-realization. And the attraction between male and female is especially created to distract one from self-realization. Hare Krishna. Pumsa striya mithuni bhavametam tayor mitho hrudaya granthi mahur atah griha kshetra shutapta vritte janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is what Rishabdev speaks. You can read this from the 5th canto, 5th chapter and the 5th verse. 555, the golden verse. Attaha griha kshetra sutat. The entire material existence begins with this attraction between male and female. And liberation means to get rid of this attraction between male and female. Ataha griha kshetra sutapta vritte. We have seen bachelors, they don't require so much to stay. If they are single, like the girl is single, the boy is single, just a little bit of things, fine. But as soon as they get married, they require a big house and they require all the amenities of the house, and that's how things increase and expand and expand and expand. And the living entity gets completely caught up and absorbed and forgets the goal of life. Completely. That's what Bhagavatam says. Ataha, after the marriage. Ataha matlab after the marriage. Griha, one requires a home. Kshetra, one requires a place to work. Sutta, children, if children are not there, what is married life? Apta, wealth, bank balance. Vritte, profession. Janasya mohoyam, and in this way the jana, the common people, mohoyam get into full illusion that this is mine. Aham mameti. He is my wife, he is my husband, he is my father, he is my mother. No one is your father and mother, no one is your husband and wife. Sorry to speak all these harsh realities, but if you want to become serious in spiritual life, if you are really seriously desiring to go back to Godhead, we have to understand that we actually do not hold any relationship with anyone in this world. We definitely have to do our material duties very, very diligently, but never ever neglect our spiritual commitments of chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 regulative principles, attending the classes regularly, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and coming in association of devotees, going for yatras. These are the basic tenets of spiritual life. And for any cost, for any material situation, except for the medical emergency of lying down in the bed, we must never neglect it. We must not say that, oh, my father is telling what can be done, my wife is telling what can be done. They may tell, and you will get, you have already got thousands of wives, and this life, one wife you have got. You have got thousands of husbands, and this life is one husband. You have got thousands of fathers and mothers, this life one father and mother has come. And it may be very painful to hear it, but we someday have to hear this reality. During the Bhagavad Gita classes, we don't speak like this. If you speak, then the first day itself, people will leave the class and say, Swamiji, very nice. In Bhagavad Gita classes, we tell that you read Bhagavad Gita, then your relationship with husband and wife will become nice. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, we tell that you read Bhagavad Gita, then your relationship between husband and wife will go away, and you will understand that you are spirit soul and you will get liberated. Yes, that's what is Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's the reality of this world, that we have to give up these material relationships. And even if we don't want to give up, it will be ultimately snatched away one day by death. Yes? How many of you who are all attending today's class, how many of you can tell that I'll eternally be the wife of this person? Can you tell? Possible. You don't even know that tomorrow you are going to remain as the wife or not. Can I say that I'll eternally remain your teacher? I don't even know what to speak of tomorrow. Based on my health condition, I don't even know after 1-2 hours what will happen. We don't even know anything. These relationships are very, very temporary. So instead of neglecting our spiritual life based on these material relationships which are very temporary and illusory, we must become very, very serious, understanding I'm spirit soul. Because of my karma, I have got this husband, I have got this wife, I have got this family, I have got all these things. Let me now respond responsively, do my duties, material duties diligently without getting attached to these things. At one point of time, I have to make this commitment. I need to get detached from this material world, material life. So long I have traveled, keep on traveling, so many species I have got, so many husbands, so many wives, so many families, so many bodies. Let this life be my last life. No more material life. Last life of the material existence. So this commitment will make us serious in Krishna consciousness. This commitment will make us serious while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's very, very important to read these philosophy. And that's why Srila Prabhupada used to always speak, we are not this body, you are not this body, you are not this body. You are spirit soul. Swe mahimni sthitasya cha. Stand in your own glory. Don't get obsessed by these material attachments. Don't commit sinful activities just to sentimentally please my father, my mother, my husband, my wife. Don't commit sinful activities. None of your family members are going to partake the sinful activities you performed for pleasing them. My own uncle. For me, from childhood, it was such a great fight for leaving non-veg, because they were pushing no, this and that. I said, this is sinful activity. I will never take it. You may beat me. You may do whatever it is. And so much of fight. I was so small, 7, 8 years old, 6, 7 years old, fighting and fighting and fighting. And finally, they agreed that no more fighting, and then you take veg. My uncle was also vegetarian. He used to stay with us. And though he was vegetarian, his greatest happiness would be, because my sisters and all, my sisters and mother and father, they used to take non-veg. They used to like fish like anything. So my uncle, though he was a vegetarian and staying with us like me, his greatest happiness in life would be purchasing special type of fishes and bringing to house. And he used to think that he is doing a great service, but he is doing horrible sinful activity. Now one may say that my uncle is not taking, he is vegetarian, he is pure and all those things, but he is going to get severe sinful karma. Whether you do the sinful activity, or you assist either in giving money or arranging the situation, you are going to partake equally The same sinful karma that your family members are going to have. So this is the reality. Let's be very, very careful. Let's not try to sentimentally please anyone. The man who came yesterday, he came with some donation. I rejected that donation. I didn't took it. And I clearly told him that don't think by giving some donations or getting some gifts for me, I will start buttering you and speaking whatever you like. That's not my habit. I'm going to tell you the truth that you are simply sinfully doing things. I told him that you are smoking and drinking, you must stop it. And he said, I am just, millions of people are doing it. I said that just because millions of people are drinking and smoking, that does not make that activity glorious. It is simply a sinful activity and you are going to suffer like anything. And don't think that I am going to butter you and tell you all these things. You go anywhere, whatever it is. This is the reality, this is the truth. So let's not be sentimentally trying to please each other and you scratch my back and I scratch your back. This is the philosophy. That's not the, we should be very clear enough. Definitely we have to be polite, gentle, respectful, but we have to speak the truth. We have to speak the truth. No matter how much people don't want to hear the truth, but if you don't tell the truth, then how we can really help them? Whole world is cheating them. Whole world is cheating. Everyone is just telling, oh, this body is nice, you take care of the body, take care of the family, that's all the goal of life, this and that. And this cheating, this simply cheating. That's not the goal of life. Taking care of the husband, wife and family is not the goal of life. Going back to God, it is the goal of life. Getting liberated from this material world, from this material body is the goal of life. So that's what now if Narad Muni would have spoken this, what I am speaking, it would be very disturbing, yes? But Narad Muni made the sun come alive and the sun started telling this. And the next sloka is very nice sloka because the sun is going to give an example of how the living entity has no relationship in this world. Yatha vastuni panyani hemadini tatastata paryantanti naresvayevam Jivo yonisu kartrushu. Yes. Read the translation.
Just as gold and other commodities are continually transferred from one place to another in due course of purchase and sale, so the living entity, as a result of its fruitive activities, wanders throughout the entire universe, being injected into various bodies in different species of life by one kind of father after another.
Yeah. So he's giving an example of gold. Like today Sri Nitai Das has some gold and Sri Nitai Das gives it to Kushal Bihari Das, then it is Kushal Bihari Das gold. And then Kushal Bihari gives it to someone else, it's Kushal Bihari, someone else gold. Right? So exactly in the same way, the living entity enters a family, the living entity becomes a family relative of that family. And then again he's, by the power of providence, he's forced to enter another family. Now he is part of that family. Like that, the living entity is roaming. But does the gold belong to anyone? No one. And sometimes the enemy comes to our family. Srila Prabhupada makes this point in the purport. Sometimes we have behaved inimically with someone in previous life. He comes as our own son. And sometimes sons can be so much troublesome. Yes, they can really trouble us. And you know, why this son is troubling me? Because you troubled him previous life. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport, actually this is the most wonderful purport in this entire 16th chapter. We will discuss this purport very elaborately. We'll read this, a small purport. It has already been explained that Chitraketu's son was his enemy in a past life and had now appeared as his son just to give him more severe pain. Hare Krishna. Indeed, the untimely death of the son caused severe lamentation for the father. One may put forward the argument, if the king's son was his enemy, how could king have so much affection for him? Yes. No, it's if the king is having the son that is being born is the enemy, then so much affection, how it is created? Yes. So Srila Prabhupada is answering. In answer, the example is given that when someone's wealth falls into the hands of his enemy, the money becomes the enemy's friend. Then the enemy can use it for his own purpose. Indeed, he can even use it to harm its previous owner. Therefore, the money belongs neither to one party nor to the other. The money is always money, but in different situations it can be used as an enemy or friend. So to help you understand what is being spoken here is the living entity has actually no freedom. He has no freedom. Durga Devi, the material energy, puts the living entity in one family and drags him out of that family, puts him into another family. And actually we do not have any freedom. Can we tell that I will die now and I will enter that family? I will die, and Sri Nitai Das, can he tell that I will die now and enter the family of Jeff Bezos? I don't know whether the family exists or not. Or I will enter the families of the Tatas and the Birlas. I will enter the family of Mukesh Ambani, not Anil Ambani, Mukesh Ambani. No one. While living only, I do not have any freedom. What my body is happening, no one knows what is happening inside. And after death, we do not have freedom. The living entity is forcefully dragged out and forcefully put to actually experience his or her karma. The living entity neither is a boy nor is a girl. The living entity neither is belonging to a wealthy family nor from a poor family. So we actually do not have any freedom based on how we did. Like if I behave inimically, giving lot of trouble to Kushal Bihari Das, in my next life he will become my son and give me so much trouble. And I would be thinking this Kushal Bihari Das is a problem, but actually I am the problem. He had just come to help me experience my own karma. I troubled him actually more previous life, and now he has come to trouble me less. Yes, so that's the reality. And then Srila Prabhupada writes, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, it is not by any father or mother that the living entity is given his birth. The living entity is a completely separate identity from the so-called father and mother. By the laws of nature, the living entity is forced to enter the semen of a father and being injected into the womb of a mother. He is not in control of selecting what kind of father he will accept. Prakrite kriyamanani, the laws of nature force him to go to different fathers and mothers, just like a consumer commodity that is purchased and sold. Hare Krishna, that's our position. Therefore, the so-called relationship with father and son is an arrangement of Prakriti or nature. It has no meaning and therefore it is called illusion. Hare Krishna. We are simply a commodity. Right now, this commodity, Sri Nitai Das, is troubling all of you, being all of your teachers. And after some time, as a commodity, I'll be thrown out of this body and I'll be forced to enter another body and I'll trouble someone else. That's it. Nothing else. We have no freedom. No freedom. Only when the living entity gets liberated from this material world, he has freedom. Like Narad Muni. Otherwise, we have no freedom. Whose husband I will become, who will become my wife. We may have all these things of whatever matchmaking and all. That's just to consolation. But no matter whatever making and matchmaking and whatever we do, the living entity is completely under the control of the material nature and is forced to accept a material body, a material husband and wife and father and mother to just experience his or her own karma. Hare Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada is going to tell, this is the last part of the class today and a very, very important aspect. Like one may have the question, Ki Prabhu, today's class was, my goodness, it's like taking us out of the illusion and everything. How we are going to functionally behave? Is the husband going to tell the wife, you are just a commodity and just a product of illusion? And the wife is going to tell husband, you are just a product of illusion and forget about it. Or the husband and wife, they tell, you are not my son, you are just a product of illusion. So how we are going to practically behave is what Srila Prabhupada is going to tell in the next part of the purport. The same living entity sometimes takes shelter of an animal father and mother and sometimes as a human father and mother. Sometimes he accepts a father and mother among the birds and sometimes he accepts a demigod father and mother. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, this is very, very important. Please keep a note. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कौन भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. Harassed life after life by the laws of nature, the living entity wanders like a commodity throughout the entire universe in different planets, different species of life. Somehow or other, if he is fortunate enough, he comes in touch with a devotee who reforms his entire life. Hare Krishna. I will read it again. Srila Prabhupada is telling. Harassed life after life by the laws of nature, the living entity wanders throughout the entire universe in different planets, different species of life. Somehow or other, if he is fortunate, bhagyavan, enough, bhagyavan bahut jada, he comes in touch with a devotee who reforms his entire life. Then the living entity goes back home, back to Godhead. Therefore it is said, this verse is very, very important. All of us should remember this. Janame janame sabe pita mata pai, Krishna Guru nahi mile, bhaja hari hai. Janame janame, every life, every birth, pita mata pai, I get father and mother. Krishna Guru nahi mile, but only in very, very fortunate lives I get the opportunity to meet Krishna and to meet Gurudev. Please take deep shelter of Guru. That's what the verse says. So, we have got so many lifetimes, so many fathers and mothers, so many families, unlimited, countless families wandering to countless species. But somehow or other, by great fortune, we have come and we have met devotees, we have met Guru, and if we become serious in the relationship with Guru, we can easily get disentangled from this relationship with this material world. Guru is the person who is going to drag us out from this material world, provided we have more attachment to Guru than our family members. The Guru is not going to tell that reject your family members. But our attachment to Guru will determine our detachment from this material relationship and from this material world. That's the reality. Janame janame pita mata pai. I have got every lifetime, I have got pita and mata, but somehow or other I have got in this life a person who is going to drag me out from this material existence, from this horrible material body, from this horrible material relationship. And if any one of us want auspiciousness in our lives, want to really, really make our life auspicious, then just we have to do one thing: blindly follow the spiritual masters. I repeat, just blindly follow the spiritual masters. Then our life will become successful. That's the process. No matter whatever the spiritual masters and the gurus and sadhus have done in the past, they have broken the trust and faith of people. That may be whatever it is. But the philosophy will not change. Just because some gurus and sadhus, they behaved in a completely wrong way, the philosophy is not going to change. The philosophy is going to remain the same. I have to find a right guru. That's it. Just because there are so many fake notes in the market, that doesn't mean that the philosophy of economics is going to change. It's going to remain the same. The economics is based on currency, at least the modern economy. And I need to find out the right currency. So similarly, the philosophy of going back to Godhead, getting disentangled from this world, the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam, coming out of illusion or moha, is surrendering to a guru. If guru says, I will follow it, no matter whatever happens. I was reading a book by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Secrets of Service. A small book. Actually, it's not a book. It's actually a transcription of Maharaj's different lectures, and Maharaj is explaining in the book this point of surrendering to Guru. How important it is to actually surrender and how we should surrender. He's just giving an example how we should surrender to Guru, and I like the point. Just 1 minute, I'll charge my laptop. Yeah. So Maharaj was giving this example. Maharaj was telling some of my disciples are pilots, not of the normal aeroplanes, of the jet aircrafts which fly very high. The normal planes, like I came in Spice Jet from Hyderabad, and in between the pilot announced that we are flying 38,000 feet above the sea level. That is about 11 kilometers above the sea level. I was thinking, my goodness, 11 kilometers. It's like very high. 1 kilometer it takes 10 minutes to walk 1 kilometer. 11 kilometer. And these jet aircrafts, they fly more high. And what happens when you fly so high, the air becomes very thin, Maharaj was telling. So when the air becomes very thin, the air resistance also becomes very thin. And the temperature becomes very low, sometimes minus 50, minus 60 degrees Celsius. So the air is thin, temperature is very low, and the air resistance, you understand resistance? Something. Friction, yes. Friction. The air friction is very low. And you have seen when there is low friction in the ground, what happens? We get slipped. We don't understand where is the direction, right? We put leg in this, imagine in the floor, there is some detergent. So you put the feet on the floor, you are supposed to walk ahead, you will go like this and you will slip off and fall, right? You have this experience? The Maharaj was telling exactly in the same way, when the air friction gets reduced, the plane just is like, you understanding? It's like sliding. And when it is sliding like a snake, the flight, you are sitting as a pilot inside, you will be feeling that my plane is going right. And the air traffic control is going to say, sir, my dear sir, your flight is not going right, it is going left. And you have to shut down your intelligence and mind. And after shutting down your mind and intelligence, you have to do one thing. Follow the ATC, follow the air traffic control. This is, in essence, pilot training. This is, Maharaj was telling, the most important aspect of training the pilot is to help him understand, don't put faith on your mind and intelligence. Put faith on air traffic control. Hare Krishna. And especially in these high altitudes, when you go so high, where the air friction becomes so less, the flight has complete chance of sliding here, this side, that side, and then it becomes all the more important to just religiously follow the ATC, the air traffic control. And then Maharaj gave the explanation. And Maharaj says that a guru is like that. A guru says that do this, and your mind will say, no, my guru is impractical fellow. He doesn't know my situation, my this and that and all these things. And if you do that, you will be sliding in material life like anything, and you'll end up in crash. And if guru says, do this, and you follow, just like the pilot is following the ATC, in human form of life, if we simply shut down our mind and intelligence, for at least one life. We have followed our mind and intelligence. Yesterday I was telling this person that you are telling that you don't get, he was telling that I don't get influenced by anyone. I said, you are a fool number one. The very fact that you are telling that you are not influenced by anyone, you have got horribly influenced by your mind and intelligence. And you are not just influenced by your mind, you are simply a slave of your mind now. So, just one austerity, tapasya. Like sometimes people do so much of tapasya. You have seen they fast so much and then they do so much of bratas, but these are all not tapasya. The real tapasya in human form of life, please note it down in big letters. Please note this statement, big letters. What is the real tapasya in human life? The real tapasya in human life is to shut your mind and intelligence for at least one life and follow the Guru's instruction wholeheartedly. If the Guru says something, I will do it no matter whatever problems, hindrances, obstacles I may have to go through for following it. If just this austerity, simple austerity, we do it for one lifetime, then liberation, going back to Godhead, will be our priceless possession in this very life itself. Definitely we need to search for a right Guru. That's not a problem. But sometimes we may get a right Guru, but if you do not have, we are not ready to pay the price of this austerity, of setting our mind and intelligence in front of our Guru and following him wholeheartedly. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Gurudev. If you tell this, I will follow it no matter whatever my mind and intelligence may be saying. That's it. We are going back to Godhead. We are going back to Godhead. There is no doubt about it. Hare Krishna. Going back to Godhead is so easy. Just shut your mind and intelligence for one life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Prakasananda Saraswati, Prakasananda Saraswati said to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are a sannyasi and why you are not reading Vedanta Sutra and you are dancing like a lady on the street sentimentally? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is nonsense is this? A sannyasi is supposed to dance like a lady in the street? Hare Krishna. Read Vedanta. Come and we will read together. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahe suno Sripad ihar karan. Oh Sripad, Prakasananda, I am telling you, please hear the reason for why I am not reading Vedanta. Guru more murkha dekhi karila sasan. My Gurudev saw me that I am simply a foolish guy. And he said to me, Tomar nahi Vedanta adhikar. You do not have any right to read Vedanta. And I left reading Vedanta. Because my Guru said to leave reading Vedanta, I left reading Vedanta. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whole life never read Vedanta. He just chanted Hare Krishna. Nirantara lo tumi Hare Krishna nam. And he said to me, just chant Hare Krishna always. And I did that. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is showing the example how we need to shut our intelligence and mind in front of the Guru. And that austerity will take us back to Godhead. Not remaining fasting, not doing some bratas, which outside people do, fasting for whole day or doing bratas. I remember one time I was in Mayapur and one lady, it was an Ekadasi and His Holiness, I think it was Mahanidhi Swami Maharaj was giving class. So this lady said ki Maharaj, for last 32 years I am doing Nirjala Ekadasi. This so Maharaj said ki there is no advancement in Nirjala Ekadasi. Only advancement lies how we sincerely follow the words of Gurudev in our life. So by doing Nirjala, by doing tapasya, by doing fasting, we are simply going to get one thing. We are going to increase our ahankar and ego. That I did so much of tapasya. And the real tapasya is to set our mind and intelligence and follow the Guru wholeheartedly. Whole life we have been wandering, our lives we have got so many father, mother, sister, brother, husband and wife, but this life we are fortunate to get a Guru. Follow him wholeheartedly without even thinking anything else, nothing. Just even if my mind and intelligence are telling, shouting, yelling at me, Sri Nitai, follow us, for lifetimes you have followed us, why in this life you are following Radhanath Swami? Sri Nitai, follow. Sri Nitai said, no, this life Radhanath Swami, that's actually will open the door of liberation for Sri Nitai. Yes, I will just end the purport and end the class. In the transmigration of soul through different bodies, everyone in every form of life, be it human, animal, tree or demigod, gets a father and mother. So it's nothing glorious to get a father and mother. This is not very difficult. The difficulty is to obtain a bona fide spiritual master and Krishna. Therefore, the duty of a human being is to capture the opportunity to come in touch with Krishna's representative, the bona fide spiritual master. Under the guidance of the spiritual master, the spiritual father, one can return home back to Godhead. So I repeat, Srila Prabhupada is telling, under the guidance of the spiritual master, the spiritual father, one can return home back to Godhead. So it's not difficult to get father and mother, not difficult to get brothers and sisters, husbands and wife. Every life we have got, but this life we have got a spiritual father. Let's follow him wholeheartedly. Let's set our intelligence and mind completely. Then the door of liberation will open. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In the course of today's discussion, if I have spoken any harsh words or any harsh reality which has given you ill feelings that why Prabhuji is speaking, please forgive me. I am just trying to repeat what Sukadev Goswami is speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Selja Mataji and then Udit Prabhu. You have some questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, जैसे आपने बोला था कि advertisement from the family and everything. Like, how do we come to know that we are detaching or not?
Yes.
It's a previous question, but we feel sometime, but that
So the solution Srila Prabhupada gives, I understood the question. The question is, Mataji is asking that, how do we know that we are getting detached from the family? So the solution Prabhupada gives and our acharyas give is not to get detached from the family. That is not discussed here. What is discussed here, Srila Prabhupada, after describing that how we are entangled in a family and it's an illusion, Srila Prabhupada doesn't say that get out of a family. Did Srila Prabhupada say that? Srila Prabhupada says get attached to Guru. That's it. Simple solution. We do not have to worry that how much I am getting detached from the family. We have to worry how much I am getting attached to Gurudev. That's it. Simple. And whether I am detached from family, whether I am not detached from family, that's not my business. My business is how much I am attached to Guru and Guru's words, and how much I really feel that if Guru says this, I must do it. No matter whatever obstacles I have to go through, no matter how much physical, mental, financial, whatever obstacles I have to go through, I will follow it. That's it. This simple solution. Whether I am detached or not in family and all those things is not a consideration at all, at least according to our acharyas. Other paths, like the path of Jnana Yoga, focuses on detachment. Focus is on how I can detach. Like that's why the Jnana Yogis or the sannyasis, because you are from Varanasi, you will find a lot of sannyasis like Prakashananda Saraswati there. So the Jnana Yoga, the path starts with sannyas. If you do not take sannyas, you cannot practice Jnana Yoga. But Bhakti Yoga is not a process of detachment, it's the process of right attachment. We don't worry about getting detached from father, mother, husband and wife and children. We are worried about getting attached to Gurudev, to the words of
Guru, why so much sleep? You spoke about 30 minutes on detachment.
Yeah, so why I have to speak on detachment? So that we understand how seriously we have to take care of the attachment. So definitely we spoke about detachment to understand the importance of attachment. But our working protocol is not to focus on detachment. Our working protocol is to focus on attachment. Detachment is required. Detachment is the goal. Ultimately, when you go back to Godhead, we are detached from the material world. But if we don't understand the importance of detachment, we will never get attached to Guru. But we are not following on the external process of detaching from father, mother, family. We are following the internal process of getting attached to Guru. But what will give me inspiration to get attached to Guru is this, that if I want to get out of this material world, that's what Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto and Upanishad they say, Tasmad Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. If anyone wants to be Uttama, Tama matlab material world, Tama matlab darkness, if anyone wants to Uttama, go out of the material world, he only should accept a Guru. Guru is not a fashion. I also will get initiated. I also have a Guru. Guru is not a dog or a fashion where we put a picture on our door and say, my Gurudev. Guru is not to enhance our material life, give us some material blessings, that, oh, my life will be nice, give me some guidance, how my son and daughter will be nice, how they will get married nicely, how my husband's business or wife's business will happen, how my working life will be nice. That's not the business of Guru. And that's not the reason we take Guru. Tasmat Guru Prapatyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Anyone who is a Jigyasu, anyone who is curious to get out of this material world should accept a Guru. That's how it is. To get initiated, to get siksha, to accept someone as Guru, whether it's Siksha Guru or a Diksha Guru, or claim that he is my Guru, means that you want to get out of the material world. And for that reason, we focus on attachment to Guru. Yes. So that we understand that this is the path to achieve this. The path to achieve this detachment, which we spoke about 30 minutes, is this. And to help us be enthusiastic in this path, we need to know that detachment is required. Right? Otherwise, we will not be enthusiastic to get attached to Guru's words. Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, Udit
Hare Krishna. Thank
Prabhu,
you so
then
much.
Kushal Bihari Prabhu, and then Sweta Matji. Yes, Udit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji. No, its question is an extension of what Shalja Mataji has asked.
Yes.
So question is, while performing we need to do our work as duty,
Yes.
right? And by performing our work as a duty, how we can differentiate that we are not getting attached to our responsibilities, right? So one way is like we are attaching to Guru, but sometimes this sort of thought comes. So let's say during my end of life or during one prastha, how will I be able to detach myself with the family life or something like that? If you can shed some light on this, it would be really good.
So that is why our focus is never on detachment. If my focus is on attachment to Guru's words, at the time of Banaprastha, at the time of death, I'll remember Guru. I'll remember his words. I'll never remember my family. No matter how much ever I have done my duties to family, how much ever diligently I might have done, but if my attachment is to my Guru, and I am doing my family as a duty, I'll remember my Guru. I'll remember the words of Guru. I'll tell someone to put a lecture on my Guru if the Guru is not living, when I am leaving the world. And I'll hear that. I'll remember how he helped me, and I'll be grateful, and I will remember Krishna, and I'll go back to Godhead. So how we should conduct after Banaprastha? We do not have to worry Banaprastha. This is Varnashrama path, which Vaishnavas we do not really follow. We follow Daivi Varnashram. Whether we are a brahmachari or a banaprasthi or a sannyasi, the process is same for a grihastha, brahmachari, banaprasthi and a sannyasi. Get attached to Guru, get attached to Krishna. Varnashram system is very difficult to follow in Kali Yuga. That I am a brahmachari, I will follow all the tenets of a brahmachari. I am a sannyasi, I will follow all the tenets. If I start following all the tenets of sannyas dharma, all the ladies will have problems. I cannot talk with any lady. Forget about talking with them. I cannot see them. In Zoom class, I have to tell that only men, please switch on your videos. So we really not are following the sannyas dharma according to Banaprastha, Varnashram dharma. We are following the Daivi Varnashram. So then a sannyasi who is a Vaishnav sannyasi, he doesn't see ladies, he sees gopis and Vaishnavis. So we are not really interested about Banaprastha or Grihastha or whatever it is, based on the course of action, what is best for our spiritual life. It may be best for my spiritual life to continue doing job, even if I have attained 50 years of age. And it may be sometimes best for my spiritual life to leave the job, though I have not attained 50 years of age, based on what my Guru says. I need to follow. So it is, this path of Bhakti Yoga is completely different than this path of Varnashram and all these things, and this Varnashram and all will not take us back to Godhead. This is just to ensure a social stability and slowly help us to get attached to Guru and Krishna. Varnashram will help you to find, while doing the Varnashram, it will help you to understand the importance of finding a bona fide Guru and going back to Godhead. It will just help you to understand the importance of going back to Godhead, but it cannot take you back to Godhead. What can take you back to Godhead is attachment to Guru, attachment to Harinam, attachment to Vaishnav Sangha and service of Vaishnavas, attachment to Dham. This will take you back to Godhead. Varnashram is a completely material principle. So we do not worry so much about Banaprastha. We worry about following Guru. Like if I say that when I was in 2006-7, I love loneliness and solitude so much. I don't want to interact with anyone. That's my nature. I was like this from childhood. My father, when sisters, and they see that you are interacting. Yesterday, whole day I was talking. Whole day. Starting from morning till night, 10 o'clock, I was talking. Practically for 8-9 hours I was in phone and talking, and then out of the phone talking. So, and this is not my nature. But my Guru wants me to do this. Srila Prabhupada wants me to do this. So forget about my nature. Who cares about it? That's meaning of devotional service. If Srila Prabhupada wants, Gaur Nitai wants that I must preach, and for preaching I need to interact with people, I will interact. Even if I'm attached to my own nature, that loneliness and solitude and all those things, that I may do once in a month, go out somewhere, but I will follow my Guru. When I was in the youth center, I was not at all ready for going out for preaching. Not at all. And then so much, my all superiors, they took me for a walk and this and that and said, Gaur Nitai wants you to preach, Gaur Nitai wants you to preach. I said, why Gaur Nitai is wanting me to preach? Radha Krishna doesn't want to preach. Let me follow Radha Krishna. Then Gaur Nitai is Yuga Avatar. You have to follow first Gaur Nitai. Not following Radha Krishna. I said, yes. If that's the desire of all superior Vaishnavas, that's the desire of Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev, and I will preach. I will interact with people. I will go and meet people, try to convince them about Krishna consciousness. Though it is completely against by nature, I'll go against my nature. So that surrender is required. Yes, Kushal Bihari Prabhu. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Yes, Hari Prabhu. Yes, Kushal Bihari Prabhu.
Thank you so much for a very enlightening class. And my question is, as we were talking about attachment to Guru, so the problem comes when the instructions of Guru are in contradiction with the desires of our family members.
Yes.
So that time people feel conflicts.
Yeah.
That time they face problems. And they don't know, as you were giving the example of this boy of your college. So, as we can say, we have to be attached to Guru, but when such conflicts arise, then the devotee is in real problem, what to do in such situation. So, that time detachment has to come in picture, or how it has to be handled actually. Because if we are attached to Guru, then our first foremost priority is to follow the instruction of Guru. For example, our yatra you can take. So some devotees may be having problems when wife is not devotee, husband is devotee, or husband is not devotee, wife is devotee, and they are not agreeing for coming to yatra. In such situations, family problems can also arise.
Yes.
So what should be done for in practical level? How it should be?
Yeah, so the response would be that Gurudev, I want to follow you, but this is the situation, you tell me what I have to do. The response should not be that I have decided that I will follow this because of the situation, and after few years I will start following you when my family situations improve. So if one is so surrendered to the Guru, he will surrender all his family situations to the Guru. He said, you tell me what I have to do, this is the situation. And the Guru is not a muff. He has also seen family, he has also seen, and we need to have faith that the Guru will give practical, sane suggestions. So, if one is surrendered to Guru, he will remain surrendered at all situations. He will tell, this is my situation in family, and you tell what has to be done. Some devotees, we have told them not to come for yatra. And some devotees, we tell that you must come for yatra based on their individual situations. So, there will be problems, and actually we understand that the problems, whether in family or job or whatever it is, actually are a test. They are opportunities for us to advance and become more attached to Guru. So instead of we deciding whatever our mind and intelligence are telling, that what I should do, I must follow the Guru. And ask him, ki, this is my situation, you tell me what I have to do. And whatever he says, you do. So it's not necessarily that the specific situation of coming to yatra just because the Guru is telling, or chanting this many amount of rounds if the Guru is telling, will be following the Guru. It's not like that. It's the mood of surrender which is important. It's not the external things. What we are doing is important. What is important is the mood of surrender. If I am facing any difficulty in following the instructions of Guru, if I am surrendered to Guru, I will go back to the Guru and say, ki, you said to do this, but when I am doing this, I am facing this difficulty. What I need to do, please tell me. And then the Guru will say, ki, okay, you do this. So it's always a dialogue between Guru and disciple. It's not like the Guru says, like a Jesus, they say in Christian, judgment day, you go like this, and if you don't do this, you go to hell. It's not like that the Guru gives a judgment, and if I don't follow now, I am going to hell. Not like that. Sometimes Guru may say certain things and we may face difficulties. It's our responsibility to go back and tell that I am facing this difficulty. Please, I am very much interested in following this, but this I am facing difficulty. And with an open mind, without deciding what you should do, open mind, come and take suggestions and consultation and do that, what the Guru is telling. So it's the mood of surrender which Krishna sees. Krishna always sees the bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna doesn't say, oh, this person didn't chant it 16 rounds. He told that he will chant 16 rounds, he didn't chant it the 16 rounds. And Krishna sees the bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna sees the mood of surrender. When we are facing difficulty, are we going back to Guru and expressing that I am facing this difficulty? Please do let me know what I have to do. That's the mood of surrender. And facing difficulties are actually very good. It will actually test how much I am surrendered to Guru. Yes, it's good that we face difficulties. Yes.
Prabhuji, suppose some devotee, maybe somebody who knew, they don't actually go back to Guru, but they decide themselves and they fight with their family and they say, no, I'll do that. So I'll do what is given as a general instruction. So general instruction in the class can be given and means a personal instruction can be it can differ from the general instruction. So generally in class we hear so many things from you, but when we interact with you on a personal level, you may still suggest differently. But if somebody decides just based on general instruction, so will it be a problem? Definitely, will it be advancement or not? What it will cause?
Mam nimittam kritam papam api dharmaya kalpate, Padma Puran says. Even if one does grossly sinful activities for following Krishna, it becomes dharma. So even if one is, because of the immaturity of devotional service, trying to do certain things which is not proper, just to follow Guru and Krishna, he will have advancement. And in due course of time, all his family members with whom he has behaved immaturely because of his immaturity in Krishna consciousness, they will also become devotees or they will become nice to Krishna consciousness. It's favorable. Because he is doing it for the right person, for the right cause. At that moment, it may be condemned that, just see a devotee behaving like this. But If he does it for Krishna, then he will be glorified and things will improve automatically, because Krishna is a person. Krishna sees, "Arey, this person is fighting for me. I need to do something." At least if Krishna doesn't see, Radharani sees. Radharani keeps on pinching Krishna always. "Kya kar rahe ho? Kya kar rahe ho? What you are doing for this devotee's life? Radhe, Radhe, give me opportunity. Radhe, I'll do it. Now what you are doing? Go now, do something. This devotee is facing problem. I'll do. So like that. So Krishna is a person, Radharani is a person, Radharani is a person with such a wonderful, loving heart. When he sees us fighting for protecting our Krishna consciousness, he will give all support, she will give all support. But if we just surrender, कि oh, ठीक है, my father is telling. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please,
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
So, but if we just follow, okay, my father is telling, my mother is telling, let me just follow, then it's not the case. Yes. This is clear. Svetamad. So, mam nimitta kritam papam api dharmaya kalpate. So by Arjuna actually killed so many people in Kurukshetra, but it became the highest of dharma because he followed Krishna. So sometimes because of immaturity, a devotee for following Krishna and Guru may do immature activities in family. But Krishna will take care. Because he has done for Krishna, Krishna will take care. Krishna will mend that devotee and mend the family members also. Everything Krishna will do. Both the devotee is going to understand his immature behavior, and the family members are also going to understand how they were wrong in not supporting his or her devotional service. But that doesn't give a license for immature behavior, because so long Guru is alive, we should always consult, right? But at least if one is doing the right thing, the anything done for Krishna will always create auspiciousness, always create auspiciousness. So what to speak of doing this, fighting with the family members, Sisupal, Kamsa, they were envious of Krishna. They were trying to hit Krishna, but because somehow they focused and absorbed the consciousness in them, they got liberated, right? So anything done in relation with Krishna will always be, result will be auspicious. Yes. Anyone else? I think Sweta Mataji's question.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think Krishna Prabhuji can go to now.
Yes.
Prabhuji, it's all, the question arises when our swabhav, like guna karma ke prabhav se hamara, we get all these, that this is family and this is family responsibility. All this comes with the gunas and karmas, and I'm very fallen soul. I know all the Tamagudi gun is there. But one thing is how one can, because this chapter started from swabhava to swarupa, right? So how one can uplift themselves from swabhava to swarupa? How at least, how, कैसे समझ में आएगा कि this is what my swarupa is? I know, okay, we know throughout the years we are dasa, anudasa, but practically trying as well. But how one should really recognize the swarupa and the relationship with Krishna, what relationship I am in with Krishna, when this
So
can be revealed.
We do not worry about our swarupa, about our relationship with Krishna. We do not worry about becoming servant of the servant of the servant. We worry about becoming servant of only one person, Guru. Guru will make us servant of servant. We have to just think, I'll become servant of Guru, and Guru will make me servant of servant. Guru will help me realize the relationship with Krishna. Whatever Guru says, I'll follow. That's it. That's what Srila Prabhupada says and our Acharya says. We do not have to worry about my Swarupa, Jiver Swarupa hai, that I am servant of the servant of Krishna, what relationship I have with Krishna. I am not, we are not much worried about it. I am worried, I am servant of Guru. And Guru says, I will do that. That's it.
Am I trying well enough, Prabhu?
You are trying well and well and well enough. Yes, Hare Krishna, Dandavat. So, anyone else? Or shall we end? Yes, it's already time. So, thank you so much. Vancha kalpataru vaishya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo nama. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai, Vaishnav Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran ki jai, Chitraketu Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna. And now Narad Muni is going to give the mantra, and we are going to see the effects of the mantra and how Chitraketu meets the Supreme Lord because of the power of the mantra. So that's the next class. In 2 classes, 2 or 3 classes, we are going to end this entire section of Chitraketu. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.